Yeah. Can I get some confirmation once again if my voice is audible and my screen is visible? Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for the confirmation. So, moving on to the next topic, let me check if the recording is on. Yeah. So, moving on to the next topic, which is the integration flow. This would allow you to perform a no code integration. People with low coding knowledge or people who do not have a coding knowledge itself will be able to use this specific solution wherein they can connect these siloed applications that you have inside or that you're working inside your business or that you have inside your process as well. Now what is this particular integration is about? So this is a part of the creator solution where you can exchange the data between cloud and on premise application with no code, right? So this is how it will work. So currently it is available inside creator and also it is available out and as a separate siloed application as well, right? So what this particular flow will do is that it will allow you to connect with other applications that are available. So we have around 900 plus applications that are readily available for you to create the create the flow, and you will be able to connect it with the different applications. So let me just quickly run through the features that are available in the flow. So you will be able to integrate app without coding experience. We have around 800 plus around 900 applications that are available, and it is not always necessary for you to create a flow from scratch, but you can always use a existing template. So based on your preference, based on the available applications that are available, you can directly use these flow templates which are readily available, which is similar to your gallery, the app gallery that we were exploring, right? So similar to that, we have the flow template as well. So you can also set the triggers based on which you wish to initiate the flow, and also you will be able to add multiple actions, and you can view your entire workflow on the builder as well, right? So the different types of flow, we can create a flow from scratch. Another one is from gallery. So let me quickly take you to the options. So I'm taking you into the, just closing the unused tabs. Yeah. So here we are inside the application. So what I'll do, I'll take a simple use case here. So inside your creator application, we have something called as the contact us form, right? Through this, the customers will be reaching out to us regarding their query or the questions that they have with them, right? So what we'll try to do is that whenever a new entry is added into the creator platform, into the contact us form, we want a ticket to be generated so that we the support personnel who is available for handling that particular request that has been raised by the customer, they will be able to directly interact and communicate with them. So when you talk about this particular report, you can see we have some of the entries that is done. What we'll do, we will make use of the same form over here, and we will try to create a application. So before we enter into this, I would like to make some changes into the flow. So we will enter into the flow creation over here. So upon clicking onto the create solution, we have the integration flow which is available for you. So now, as I mentioned, we have it from scratch, and we also have something from import from gallery. So first, let me explore the gallery for you. So inside your import from gallery, we have the different applications that are available. For example, let me choose one of the Zoho application. So currently we are working with the creator, right? So I'll choose creator. So here, once I click on to creator, we have list of applications that are readily available, list of template that are readily available. So we have jot form, we have the Clintify, and we have connected with Zoho Click and Control, and so on, right? We also have the Zoho Writer as well, which is being connected with creator. So these are few templates that are already available based on few business scenarios, right? I can, if this particular scenario fits into my business requirement, I can use this, or else I can change it, alter it based on my preferences as well, right? So this is related to the flow gallery, right? Next, let's start creating it from scratch. So as I mentioned, we are creating a ticket inside Zoho Desk. So we'll have to have an account for Zoho Desk so that the configuration, the integration is happening between creator and Zoho Desk. So now you can see I'm trying to log into my Zoho Desk because I already have an account for Desk here. And yeah, so we have already few list of tickets that are available, so that needs to be completed, that is still in open, right? So this is where the support personnel or anyone who is trying to handle any query will be able to access. So this would be one of the query where you can see the information is being provided, and we have a ticket number which would represent the issue, I mean, which would represent this specific query that has been raised by one of the employee or someone who is raising related to an issue here, right? And then we have the details as well, right? Now what we'll do, we will try to create a ticket here in this particular module. So we will enter into this particular area where you are creating a flow from scratch. Let us give the name for the flow. So we can mention it as Zoho creator to Zoho desk for ticket, right? And then I'll just use the same as description, but you can define it detail so that whenever someone access this particular flow without your presence, they will be able to identify like what you're trying to perform over here, right? So let me create the flow here. And once you have created it, you will be landing into the builder area where you will be provided with multiple triggers that are available for you to initiate the flow. So now that we have given the name and created the flow, here is where you the main important point starts. So based on which trigger are you initiating this flow? Is it based on a activity that is happening in an application, or you are scheduling some kind of trigger here based on which a scheduler will be initiated and you will be able to receive the output as well. And then the webhook. So if when this particular triggers when data is received from an application or a code through a webhook URL that you are capturing from this webhook. And then we have the URL based trigger. So this would allow you to create a URL, and based on your URL that you are adding into this particular trigger, it will start a polling mechanism. So based on the polling mechanism, it will capture the new information that is available into that particular URL from which you have taken, and it will fetch or it will capture the new information that you have there. And then we have the email. So this would allow you to parse the email that you are receiving based on the email that has been provided here, through which you can perform actions. Like if a particular person is sharing you or sending you an email, it will parse that information and you will be able to capture that information, and based on which you can trigger the actions or you can trigger what needs to be done further ahead. And then we have the RSS atom feed. So this is specific to the RSS or atom feed. So whenever a new entry or a new data or a new item or a new post is added into these different feeds, it will fetch that information and you will be able to trigger that flow. And you can perform a lot of actions. So if it contains any of your personal information or any organizational information, you can identify it using um, particular decisions that we have here in app specific, based on which you can perform a lot of actions. So for this use case, we are using it based on the app based trigger because we are working with creator and desk. So you can see these are my some of the connected applications. We have few of the on-prem applications, few of the cloud applications that I've already connected with. Now we'll choose the application creator and click on to next. So you can see we have app created, record created or updated, or even record updated as well, right? So this is specific to these three triggers over here. Right now what we are trying to do, we are trying to initiate the flow based on the record created. And here you can see we are shown with an option called real time. So when you are choosing a app specific trigger, it can be based on a real time activity or it can be also based on a polling method. So you will be provided these options when you're creating or working with multiple different type of application. So these three actions are specific to creator, but when you are working with a Zoho desk or a writer or a Zoho CRM, you will have multiple different type of triggers that are available, that you will be able to use it based on the module that is present and so on. So let me click on to next, and you can see we have already created multiple connections over here. I'll choose one of the connection, but if you wish to create your own connection, it is also possible. And you can also execute the action, or you can execute or use this connection if you wish to perform all the triggers and action, or if you wish to perform only few of the actions or trigger here, right? So I'll choose all triggers and action. I can give the connection name, and you will be able to perform the authorization process as well, right? So let me get back and use an existing connection. If I wish to test this connection, I can click on to test, and you can see the connection is working fine. Then we can give the variable name, which is mandatory, and then we'll have to choose the app name. So I'm choosing the app name, and it will fetch all the forms that are available. So now the form that we're working with is a contact us form. And if I wish to give any criteria, that can also be specified here. So I'll give it done. So the first set of action is completed. Now further, we'll have to go ahead and perform the other set of actions that we are trying to perform here. So before we move on to the next application, which is for creating a ticket, we have something called as the logic over here. So each of the app specific or the triggers that you're using will have something called as logic, wherein I can perform the flow control. So if I wish to set any variable, perform any decision based on the output that you're receiving, or even add a delay in between the flow that you are creating, that is possible. And I can set the email notification. I can send an email notification and perform the actions. And we also have something called as the custom function. If I wish to post any information, or if I wish to perform an API call or any information, this will be very much handy. So I can write my own custom function, and I can call it within this particular builder. And apart from this, we also have actions for the on-prem applications that we have here. Now what we'll do, we will connect it with Zoho Desk, because we are trying to create a ticket. Now inside your Zoho desk, you can see we have a large sum of actions that are available. Compared to Creator, we have different modules that are available here, like ticket, article, contact, and so on, right? So that is why we have a few set of triggers. So what we'll do is that we are trying to create a ticket here, right here, right? But before we start creating a ticket, we'll need to create a contact, the contact of this person who is trying to reach out to us. So I'll click on to create contact, and it will give me the module. The mapping of information has to be done here. So here as well, I'll be using an existing connection. And yeah, we have other portal information automatically added, portal ID, and the layout. And here we'll have to provide the first name and the last name. I'll give the last name here, I mean the name. And we'll have to give the email, so that the customers are getting interacted with one another with the support personnel. And this is done, right? So I'm not mapping other information since it is not mandatory. But if you wish to have or capture all the information from the customer, you will have to get the information from them, and then perform the data mapping into the area where you're trying to create an action. So now we have created the contact. Further ahead, we are creating a ticket. So we have the create ticket. I'm dragging and dropping it here. I'll have to choose the connection. Yeah. So here I'll have to give the email. So since we have already captured the record created, I'm just using the email from there. And the subject, I'll choose issue. Description, I'll use the description, and status is open. And the due date, so if you wish to set any due date, that can also be set here. And the priority, so if you wish to have any priority given to this ticket, you can choose it. And the contact person, so you can see we have a list of contact person which is available here, right? But if I wish to map the just a moment, yeah, map the record that we created here, the map the particular contact that we created here inside your desk, we will have to map it with the contact id. So here it does not provide you any contact id, right? So we are provided with existing details, but to add your own id, the contact id which has been created, you can use the custom value through which you can map its contact id over there. So now the id is being mapped, you can create a ticket out of the contact that you created as well, right? So now this is completed. What we can do, we can test and debug if this is working or not by entering a dummy data into it. So I'll enter here into the contact us form and give my information. Or I'll give a different name and email. I'm adding a demo email here. I'm adding phone number. Now for the issue, let me give keyboard keys issue, and let me save the same. Keys are not functioning. So this would be description, and let us keep the status open. So once we submit it, this information will be added into your creator form, and on the other hand, a ticket will be generated as well. So it is taking some time. Let me check if this is working. Right, so let us check. It's not reflected, but let us try enabling this particular flow. Let me get back into the builder, the admin dashboard. Right, so now the flow has been enabled. Let me try adding another entry. So let me submit it. And now when you enter into the history of the specific flow, you will be able to get the history that has been available. So the execution based history will be provided here. Yeah. So now in the history, the task history, you can see the execution is completed and we have the outputs as well. So yeah, so now what we'll do, we will enter into the desk and check if we have a new ticket or not. Right, so we have the new issue, a new ticket that has been created 234, and then we have the subject of this and so on. Right, what will happen now, the support personnel will take this particular ticket and he will reply to the customer, and through and fro communication will be handled here. Right, and here you can manage the, inside your creator you can manage the request and you can change the status accordingly. So that can also be achieved using a flow that you are building inside your flow builder, right? So apart from this, we can also get the summary of the flow that you have created, like the number of connections you have, the executions that you have done, and was there any error that you have received, and so on. So you can see we have one success and others are 0 because we didn't have any failure. And similar to that, we also have a chart and we have a report and the task usage and so on. Right, and even the connections that were used as well is available and the recent execution. So this is clearly based on the flow and based on your specific business requirement. You can connect the siloed applications over here, right? So I hope this was understandable. So if you have any questions related to the flow creation, do let us know. We will be able to help you out. So I'll be keeping myself on mute for a couple of seconds. If we don't have any questions, we will move on to the last topic for the day. Yeah, so my co-trainer is answering your questions in the question tab. Thank you so much for the questions. So can you all give me a confirmation if we can continue the same session for the next topic while my co-trainer will be answering your questions? Yeah, thank you, Juma. Thank you so much for the confirmation. Any more confirmations? Yeah, thank you for the confirmation. Thank you so much. So let's get started with the next topic. I'll just start the session in the same session itself.